All right, welcome back. We're going to add yet another chord in this lesson, and it's going to be a bar chord. All right? So these can be a little bit tricky, so definitely take some time with this lesson and review what we're going to go over. We're going to learn the F major chord, which happens to be a bar chord. Check this out. It's going to look like this. The name bar chord comes from this first finger barring over all 6 strings. So you can go ahead and start with that. Take your first finger and flatten it and press it down on all 6. We're going to put our third finger on the 3rd fret of the 5th string. We're going to take our pinky and put it on the 3rd fret of the 4th string. And finally, we're going to take the 2nd finger and put it on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. So let's check out each of these strings to make sure it's sounding, okay? So we should have the 6th string being pressed down by your first finger, that's barring. Then we need this note right here, 3rd finger on the 5th string. We've got our pinky on the 4th string, 2nd finger on the 3rd string. And then finally, our first finger is on strings 2 and 1. And you heard that? It kind of choked out a little bit, so I got to flatten my finger a little bit. Press down a little harder. There's the note. There's a nice F chord for you, all right? So you heard I already messed up on one of those notes. You got to really watch your positioning with this chord, all right? A lot of it has to do with how your first finger is pressing down. And it can be tricky at first, trying to get your first finger flat and pressing down with enough pressure. Make sure your thumb isn't drifting out of position. Notice I have this same position that we've been talking about in all of these videos. Your thumb is on the back side, pressing down, giving you a good clamping motion. Just imagine if you go to pick up an object, you're not going to pick it up like this, right? You're going to use your thumb and grab it like this, and it gives you more power. So the same concept applies here with the guitar. So make sure your first finger isn't drifting inward. What'll happen, it'll want to drift in on the 6th string, and it's going to want to drift in on the 1st and 2nd and kind of curve. A lot of that has to do with your elbow, too. I remember when I was much younger trying to learn the F chord, when I was around maybe 10 or 11 or so, my elbow would always want to drift in, and I would start to get this kind of positioning going, which is not good at all. First of all, your posture is bad. You're hunching. Your back is bent. So you got to make sure, sit up straight, and keep that elbow outward. Don't go too much, but just keep it nice and straight. And what that's going to do is flatten out this finger. Check this out. In, I'm curved. As I move my elbow out, it flattens everything and gets you in a great position. So there's our F major. So what we're going to do is we're going to combine F major with C major, and this is going to be a progression that's based on the song Imagine. So check this out. We've got C, and remember, don't hit that 6th string. We're not going to use that for C. Then you're going to switch to F, and of course hit all 6 strings. Another great thing about switching between these 2 chords is we get to continue to focus on the common tones that are in chords and common fingering that appears between 2 different chords. Remember, back before, G and D both have this 3rd finger in common. Well, the same thing happens between F and C. The 3rd finger doesn't have to move. So when you're switching between those chords, make sure you leave your 3rd finger down. All right? So in order to play this progression, all we need to do is do 4 downstrokes, quarter notes, and then switch. All right? So let's give that a try. We'll start with C, and then go to F, and back and forth. Here we go. 1, 2, Ready? Go. So we have C, and then we're going to switch to F. Back to C. And then F. All right? Let's do that a couple more times. Great. Now, doing quarter notes may be a little bit ambitious at first. Maybe the F chord is giving you a little trouble. So you can dial it back a notch and just do whole notes. You know, just hold C and then make sure to get to F in time for the next measure. All right? Definitely spend a lot of time on this video getting the F together, because as we move forward, we're going to be doing more bar chords. And the great thing about those is that they open up the entire guitar for you, enables you to play in different keys and be able to pretty much play any song that you want to. So, spend some time with F.